Hey, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Fantastic Exchange. Guys, my name is Gary, and I am super excited because, one, I get to talk to this incredible leader right here, but it's live, you guys. This isn't a Zoom call. We're
here.
In the same room. This is absolutely exciting, right?
This is exciting. It's good to be here.
Guys, y'all give it up for Dakotah Mazza. Can you hear them?
Woo-hoo.
They're clapping in the background.
That's very, it's quiet, but I can hear it.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
It's the thunderous applause. Hey guys, Dakotah Mazza, thank you so much for joining me here today. So tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Gary. I'm happy to be here. So I, obviously, I'm Dakotah Mazza. I'm in the multifamily industry. I've been in the industry now for 8 years. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a little old, even though I'm not technically old, but it ages me a little bit. And I am married to my amazing husband, Michael. We've been married now for 4 years this year, and we have 3 fur babies at home, and we love it. We live in Nashville, and it's home, so.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So, Dakotah, you and I have been chatting because we're actually working together in an undisclosed location. Can't share right now, but it's been pretty fun, the things that we've been kind of working for work here. But we've been talking about the things that inspire you, and I love to connect with leaders and thinkers and motivators, and I've always seen you as one that is a leader or motivator and somebody that really thinks well about the different things that are going on. And so I asked you what inspires you, and the first thing that you shared with me was your dad. So tell us, how and why does your dad inspire you?
Yeah, great conversation that we had.
Yeah.
So my dad is technically not my real dad. He's not my biological dad. He's my stepdad. But he has raised my siblings and I since I was 4. And he's just an overall, just a fantastic person and a great guy. He worked for the same company since he was 18 years old.
Wow.
And he retired with them, and just growing up, he's just taught me how to be a good person, a great leader, be empathetic, but set a standard and set expectations right out of the gate for your staff and just you in general in your personal life and your relationships and your work environment. And he has just always taught me when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
It's good.
And I think he really helped me understand that, just not even on a professional level, but as a personal level as well. And I have just valued everything that he has brought to the table for me and my siblings, and I know that we would not be where we are today without him. And so he's the guy. He's a great person. I go to him for everything. Even now I'm 28 years old, and I know I can pick up the phone and call him and be like, I'm struggling with this in my personal life, or this just isn't going right at work, and I'm just feeling stuck. Help me. How do I get where I need to be? Right. And he's just always there to give me sound advice. And he's always been that way.
Wow.
So I feel like the leader I'm becoming and the leader I am now, and the person that I'm still developing into professionally and personally is basically owed to him.
Wow.
And so I'm very thankful to have that relationship and to have him. He does inspire me. He still to this day, he's retired and he still works and he loves it. He's got a little handyman job and he loves it, right? And I hope that one day I can get to that point in my life where I've been fulfilled about what I've done as my career, and then I find something that just kind of takes me through the years and keeps me grounded and busy. Exactly.
That is so fun, and I love, so many things about your dad that you've shared. One, that he's created an example for you, and I think that's such an incredible gift that you get to have, is because you have that example in your life over the years that now you're modeling after him. Not, may not be doing what he did, but you're doing it how he did it and why he did it. And I think that's so neat to have that kind of person in your life. And also, when you talked about, he always set clear expectations. So, I think that, when you find a leader that sets clear expectations, there's authenticity with that. So you always know what to expect. And you always knew what to expect with your dad?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I always know where I stand with him. I always know exactly what he expects of me and my siblings and of situations, and he's always been authentic and transparent.
Yeah.
I don't think myself or my siblings have ever wondered where we stand on certain things or situations with him. And I think growing up with that has just helped all of us, myself and my siblings included, with creating those relationships with our peers and you know, in our friends and our relationships, where you always know what you're going to get and you always know what the expectation is.
I mean, so would you even go so far as to say he kind of created a foundation of principles and core values for you to follow in your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't even put into words how just awesome of a guy he is, and I think my siblings and I are a great testament to the principles, the values that he's instilled in us growing up, and I know if you were to ever meet my siblings, you would be like, they are a carbon copy of Dakotah. we are very much so very alike, and it's how we were raised, and by that example.
Yeah, so. and I know you're living that example because I see you in action. I see you doing the things that you're doing, and you do have a lot of your people that follow you because you create followable excellence, which you're following from your dad. So I think he created an example, you're creating your own example by following his, and other people are now following you, and so that's just creating leaders overall. So I think your dad's done great work, you're doing fantastic work by following his example and making your own example that other people can follow. So that's absolutely inspiring. So the second thing that you shared with me that inspires you, which I love as well, is the people that you work with inspire you. And I think that's so neat because a lot of us work with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, different styles, different leaderships, but they still inspire you. So tell us a little bit how that works.
Yeah, they do. I think when you get down to the root of people, and we talk about everybody's different, you know, people receive things different ways, how do we motivate people, how do we get them to understand what we're asking of them. And in my time in the industry, I have worked with so many different individuals. I've been very blessed and very fortunate. You know, I worked with Shelly James, who is a well-respected multifamily professional in the Southeast and just throughout the multifamily circuit. She really kind of set the tone for me to understand how to talk to all different levels of people, from, you know, the maintenance tech all the way up to executive VPs and everything in between. And the groups in which I've been very, very fortunate to work with over the last 12 to 15 months have absolutely blown me away with their adaptability, the opportunity to come together and collaborate on things, diversity, ideas. I have been blown away. It's just what I'll say again, blown away. With STAR, with now SMC, you know, the group that we have right now is so diverse and unique. And it gives us that opportunity to say, okay, well, this isn't working, and how can we come back to the table, bring new initiatives to the table, and get it to work where it fits everyone, and not just, you know, a couple of properties here and there. And the group that I have right now in my portfolio are some of the brightest multifamily individuals I've ever worked with. So they do, and I love watching them rise to the challenge and the challenges that I set for them, and, you know, and exceeding those expectations and rising to the occasion. I think that it has been such a pleasure and a joy to watch, and I think that they're going to continue to do really great things, and we're just getting started.
Oh,
so I'm so excited.
That's awesome. I love how you initially kind of pointed out, I guess when you first got into the industry, you had a mentor, kind of a coach that you looked up to. And whether they trained you personally or created an example that you could follow, this leader, her name again was?
Shelly James.
Shelly James. Shout out to Shelly James. Pretty awesome. Woo woo. I think that's great that you kind of gravitate to somebody that you can emulate and follow, like your dad. You know, your dad's created some followable excellence, and Shelly James has created some followable excellence. So you're kind of weaving all of those lessons together. So now you're in a position where you do talk to, from groundskeeper all the way up to a founder, owner of a major corporation. And these are skills that you've learned from this mentor. And now, and on top of that, you get to work with a diverse group of people with different kinds of thinking or perspectives or ways of looking at things. And I love how you appreciate that.
I do.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Like, there's some jobs where you just don't get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very thankful, very fortunate to work in an industry where you can bring your ideas to the table, you can bring your teams to the table, and like we do, right,
Yeah.
at SMC. Here, this isn't working, and my team has really great ideas, and we want to get this fixed, but we also want to challenge the rest of our team on the IT side, on our initiative side, to rise to the occasion as well, and get stuff worked out where it works for everybody.
Right.
And so it's been a pleasure, and it is continuing to be a pleasure, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
And just like you said, having, two really solid mentors and inspirations in my dad and Shelly.
Yeah.
I've taken bits and pieces of what I've learned from both of them over the years, and have kind of just made it my own.
Yeah.
And I was, again, very fortunate to work under Shelly for, 4 years, where she hand trained me, which you don't generally find a multifamily professional that has the experience and the tenor that she has and the knowledge that is so willing to take somebody under their wing, right? Because generally you're like, well, is this person going to leave me eventually?
Sure.
What's in it for them?
Right.
But Shelly never balked. She never shied away. I'm sure I annoyed her sometimes with all my questions, but she was so accommodating and so open that I have that's time that is so valuable to me that I was able to receive, and lessons learned, and how to, again, just how to be in the industry, and how to have those conversations where it doesn't matter who you're talking to, how they're receiving the conversation, being able to adapt to your environment, putting things across where, just like you said, a founder of a large corporation totally understanding what you're saying and bringing it to the table, and then being able to come back to your on-site teams and give them messages where they're going to understand it and perceive it in a way in which is going to be productive. So again, extremely thankful, excited for the ride. It's going to continue.
Yeah. And it's so cool that Shelly was very intentional with you and kind of helping grow you, to where she probably saw and still sees your potential. And I love that you're I guess, paying it forward with other people as well, because I see you with your team that you're leading them and intentional with them, helping them grow. And I think that's such a valuable one. You're grateful for what you have been given, what you have currently, and you are kind of intentionally working for the future to help continue to that path and grow other people along with yourself. I think that's fabulous. Man, Dakotah, I could talk to you for hours.
I know.
This has been fantastic. We're getting close to the end of our time. I wanted to give you an opportunity to share a closing thought. Anything on your mind you'd like to share?
Really just, if you are starting out in the industry, if you're somebody that's already well seasoned in the industry, challenge yourself, challenge your teams. You will be blown away by the collaboration that you can come together with not only your on-site teams, but your corporate office workers, and collaborate. Hear everyone out, think about it, make it work for everybody, and be intentional with what you're doing.
Love it. Challenge, collaborate, intentional. Those are your 3 points. Challenge, collaborate, intentional. Straight from Dakotah Mazza. Guys, you keep an eye on Dakotah Mazza, whether it's on LinkedIn or just watch for her name, because I promise you she's going to be she's a current and future leader in the multifamily industry, because she is absolutely incredible. I've seen her working. She's amazing, great leader. She's got some great examples in her dad and some mentors in the past, and she's paying it forward, guys. So you'll make sure you keep an eye out for her. Big things, I promise you, out there for her. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Super Fantastic Exchange. Dakotah Mazza, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.